Okay, we're doing something a little different tonight. Uh, uh, Inspired by a bunch of YouTubers I saw doing solo wargaming. So my copy of Lion Rampant that came in, and of Henry Hyde's wargaming campaigns. I've decided to write a operational-ish strategic level fantasy war game. Simple. We're not going for super complicated here. This is definitely not advanced squad leader. It's a little closer to a Risk, I think, than advanced squad leader. But um, so this is sort of the first play test of that. Now I've run a couple games. I've run a couple on my table with my mat and my wet erase markers and counters. And this is my first attempt, my first real attempt at Tabletop Simulator. I think I have it down. I played just a little bit, couple turns, just to get, what counters do I need to make, and so on and so forth. I think I'm good. I think we're okay. I mean, we're definitely going to need, we'll probably need a couple more counters here and there, I think, as we go. But I think we have just enough to get by. So the scenario here, so the first video is going to be going over the scenario and a quick overview of the 5 leaders that are going to start the game, and sort of the victory conditions, which I do need to get a card for. Give me 1 sec. So here are our victory conditions. If you take one of the mine hexes, that's the east mine or west mine here, you're going to get 3 points. So the scenario. So let's go over the quick scenario briefing, right? So this is a frontier outpost. Skulls is the human settlement here, and the goblins, who have long plagued the southern hills, have risen up, and sort of the Great Khan here, who is right there, has called for a jihad, a goblin uprising to kick the humans out of the hills. Now these mines, the humans are trying to recapture and reactivate these mines that were used a long time ago, the old empire and such. Same thing with the watch post, right? It's just an old watch post, and same idea. So victory points, if you take a mine, you get 3. Now, you can lose that 3 if you lose it, but if you take it, you get 3. So whoever's occupying it at the end of the day here gets their points. Take the watch post, 2 points. Take an enemy camp, 5 points. You don't lose 5 points if you lose your camp, but the enemy gets 5. Kill the Great Khan, 5 points for the humans. Kill skulls, 3 points for the goblins. Any other leader is worth 2 points. Each material taken from the mine, if you can actually occupy the mine and then start to get it running again and producing materials for you, every turn, every material it gives you is a point. So we will see. I'm going to write the turns up here. Right, so we're going to write that in big words. It's going to be, oh no, we just screwed that up. Nope, stop it. Womp womp. Okay, we just totally screwed that up there. There we go. There we go. Why can we not? There we go. You know what? We're gonna. It is turn 1. Hopefully we'll be able to keep track of the turn. Yeah, see my problem with, so this, I do believe that Tabletop Simulator has a text problem. Like I wish we could just do better with text. Okay, but I get it. I'm jumping the gun here when I'm trying to click in there. Okay, so that's sort of our scenario. There's the map. So let's take a look at the map. So we have Skalts, which is the big town. It's not that big. It's a size 3. We'll tell you what that means as we go here. It has 3 manpower, which means we can recruit 3 units from it. And we can recruit militia, archer, or regulars from it. And the chance in 12 is listed there, 6, 3, and 2. Not a great chance to recruit. There's no place has super high chances to recruit. We are in the boonies. It produces 6 commands and 2 material. The humans get 4 commands from off the board. So there's 4 commands they will never lose, effectively. Keep that in mind. I suppose I should make sure that gets recorded somewhere off map. 4 commands. So keep that there. Maybe shrink that a little bit though. Here we have the logging camp. The logging camp is, again, it's a size 2. Production is 4 and 1. So the humans are going to get 14 commands and 3 material every turn. This has 2 manpower, mostly laborers. And we have 2 commanders here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Down here is the Khans camp, and it is a size 4. It's the biggest sort of settlement here. Not because it's a big settlement, because all the goblins from all around are coming here to heed the Khan's call. It has 3 manpower. And this is definitely the recruiting hub for the goblins. Over here is Croag's camp. This is the Great Khan's second in command. And it is size 2. It has 2 manpower, and we can recruit the terrifying wolf riders here. Here too, is that true? I don't think that's true. I think that is, yep, it's 6 and 4. Darn it, I copied crap wrong, and that is my fault. But no riders here. You cannot do riders here. That is not okay. Riders are the purview of Croag here in the woods. So here we can do rabble, warriors, and riders. Over here, just rabble and warriors. You can see the mines. And I would argue that the map favors the goblins in the east and slightly favors the humans in the west, but I don't know that that's true. I think that Croag probably has the ability to get there fairly quickly, given his wolf riders, his cavalry units that he has. If he wants to, he could reach there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2 turns. Whereas the humans are going to take probably 3 turns. So I'm a little concerned. This map might be absolutely disadvantageous for the humans. Like we might have made it a little unfair. We'll see. The roads here are before that they sort of knew they were going to make a logging camp, so there is no road going down here like this. And that's it. We'll see if this can fly here. So let's take a look at the men here. So the leaders, you got 6 stats. Initiative, lower is better. That's the only score that lower is better. A 4 is sort of mediocre. Command of 1 is good. Diplomacy of 2 is good, although it doesn't play into the game much because there's not that much. There actually is not that much diplomacy to be had in this version of the game. We're going to get there in later iterations. Skullduggery -1, but again, not that much to do with that stat yet. Logistics is 0. That's an important one. And prowess, that is hand-to-hand, personal one-on-one combat, is a 0. We have Sir Voltus, lazy. His initiative is 5. He is the laziest of lazies. Command is -1. Terrible. Well, not terrible, but bad. Diplomacy 1, subterfuge 1, both fine. Logistics of 3 is very good. You want to get Voltus in a place where he can recruit, and then you just want him to probably do that job. And then prowess of -1. He's not a good hand-to-hand fighter. Now, Sheriff Thompson, initiative of 2 is amazing. He'll be moving all over the board. And command of 2 is amazing. Logistics of 1 is good. Skullduggery is not so great. But again, diplomacy and skullduggery are not quite where they need to be in the game yet. We'll get them in the next couple writings of the rules. And his hand-to-hand combat is very good. He's very skilled too. But everyone also has a set of sort of traits. Skulls is a warrior. He can fight at 4/4/2, so he can actually be a unit on the battlefield. Thompson is not a unit on the battlefield, but he can recruit deputies at any site with a success of 6. Very good number. But he's a civilian. He can only lead irregulars, and that is until he gets ranked up. And we'll see what that entails. Voltus, he is lazy enough that he's actually surprising. If he actually leads from the front, which gives him a higher chance of getting killed in battle, his front rank actually gets +1 attack. They are so amazed that he's standing out there with them that they fight better. The con is he's the great con. He gives his side 4 commands each turn. He is like a site. He generates commands, and you need commands to do actions. So he is generating actions each turn. He is also a purger. He does not trust Croag, his lieutenant. And if you manage to remove Croag, or Croag is killed, his replacement costs no material. So he can get a new commander for free almost. Croag is a dumb berserker. He can fight as a 5/5/2 unit. He has charge. He is nasty. And he is a wolf friend. That is his most important trait. He can recruit, not recruit. Recruit riders. Recruit. There we go. Riders in any site that's in or adjacent to a woods hex with a success number of 4. So we've got our guys. Now you can see that both the Goblin commanders have an initiative of 3. Croag is dumb. His logistics is bad. His command is bad. Again, he is sort of cheesed out of this version of the game because his best stat is subterfuge and skullduggery, which is a 3. And we don't have a lot of uses for that yet. Nonetheless, his ability to summon wolf riders is a big deal. And we're going to make good use of that. The Great Khan, initiative of 3 is good. Command of 1, logistics of 2, very good. Diplomacy, not his strong suit. Subterfuge is okay. And his prowess, if indeed he was challenged to single combat, it is likely that he would prevail. So I did play a couple turns just to test out my tabletop sim thing here. And I think I'm worried about both mines being a little too far for the humans to get to in a timely fashion. It looks to me like the goblins get the early advantage in this one. And that's fine to give one side an early advantage. But the humans are going to have to somehow make up for that. So what I'm wondering is, I'm thinking of sending Thompson down to take the watch post, because that's an easy one for the humans. That'll give him an experience point, and he can then level up, which unfortunately makes his shit wrong, but we'll fix that or not. Then I can figure to keep these men as a garrison here and send Voltus over to here to recruit all day and try to recruit to power up Skulls here, who's the better combatant. And Skulls then takes the west mine. Now, I wholly expect the goblins to take the east mine. And I don't know 50-50 whether they'll be ballsy enough to go take the old watch post from Thompson. We will see. I think it depends on the recruiting And you got to be careful because Thompson has a good initiative. So if you leave supply out and you're coming, say, from the east mine, and he just loops around and takes the supply, and now you're out of supply, then you are posed. So I think Thompson takes the watch post. Voltus goes to Skulls. He returns to Skulls. Skulls heads down to take the west mine, or at least stand off against Croag. I think Croag needs to recruit as many Wolf Riders as he can get, take the west mine, and the Grey Khan needs to take that east mine and get it up and running to start generating victory points. We've got 2 warriors and 2 rabble, 2 riders and 2 rabble. Skulls has a militia, an archer, and 2 regulars. So not terrible. None of these forces are really good. Thompson has 2 deputies, which are 3s. That's not the worst. And Voltus has 1 militia, 1 woodsman, and 2 regulars. So again, he's not terrible. So that's it. That's where we are. That's where this particular mission is going to start. So we're going to see where we can get to here in the next couple hours. So I will talk to you then.